It was a strategy from the very beginning that was focused on versatility and the ability to rapidly modernize, to stay ahead of the threats and relevant to whatever nation might use it, at the same time as being a very affordable and adaptable force that could integrate well with our partners and allies. It's not uncommon to see mixed tails from one nation landing on another airfield in another nation and being able to cross service and intermingle both in the tactics that the pilots are doing, but also in the way we maintain and we train together. So part of the reason why the F-16 has been able to endure is just this tremendous versatility. It's a proven platform that has delivered security results for partners and allies, while at the same time adapting to the modern 21st century threats that we see today.
In the era of the fifth generation jet fighters, the F-16 Block 70 mostly referred as the 4.5 gen. So can you tell us about that? What kind of technologies that this F-16 provides for modern air forces?
The F-16 has adapted through a block structure. So if you're familiar, it started with the Block 10. Many nations have adapted, and from that Block 10, in Turkey, we see the Block 30, 40, 50, and 50 plus. The Block 70 is the newest iteration of that block structure. And what we're bringing in this advanced, the most advanced really, fourth generation airplane ever built, is a bunch of improved, on the capability side, avionics, starting with the Northrop Grumman APG-83. It's called the Sabre, electronically scanned array radar. And interestingly, you mentioned fifth gen. That radar is very common with what we have on our F-35. Actually about 95% common in hardware and over 75% common in software. That enables that rapid upgrade and the relevancy that we see. We take that thinking throughout the cockpit, so there's advanced electronics inside, advancing the usability and the displays to the pilot. It's very digital in the Block 70, as well as adding some unique capabilities to improve range. CFTs, or conformal fuel tanks, are along the sides. And the adaptability, at first, it inherits all of the weapons and all the other capabilities it had, and it enables some advanced targeting pods, as well as advanced weapons that are more suitable for the modern era. In addition to that, we've continued to make it more reliable and sustainable. The one that we like to talk about is all fighters around the globe. They have a limited life expectancy, typically about 8,000 hours. In the Block 70, we re-engineered and took that life expectancy out to 12,000 hours. That life expectancy not only gives modern air forces the chance to fly their airplanes well into the 2060s, should they choose, but it also reduces the amount of maintenance, and it separates the time between intervals of inspection and maintenance, reducing overall life cycle costs.
And the war in Ukraine brought a special attention on the F-16 platform. Many neighboring countries are purchasing or looking to purchase new F-16s or to replace their old versions of the platform with the new one. Can you tell us a little bit more about this, the demand that's increasing with the Ukrainian war?
With the F-16 Block 70, you also become part of a much broader network. So in Europe alone, there's over 700 F-16s. And so when we think about the modern threats that have risen across Europe or even the Middle East, that network effect is incredibly powerful. So when you buy an F-16 or you get a third-party transfer or you modernize the F-16 fleet you have, you're getting the synergy associated with that broad network and the ability to interoperate in a NATO construct. And with the criticality of NATO air policing missions and the ability to move from one location to another at a rapid pace in an agile way, say agile combat employment, the Block 70 and the associated airplanes that are in Europe provide a unique capability to deal with those modern threats. And now that we've continued to advance them, they bring this advanced capability. So while we see uncertain times all around us, this F-16 is a stalwart for these circumstances when nations need to come together. And we see that demand signal very strong across Europe and in other places in the globe for those reasons.
Mm-hmm. Do you have plans to increase your production number with cooperating with other partner countries?
As we look at the global demand, we continue to see, for instance, Turkey, we're very excited about the opportunity that is recently opened with our two nations agreeing and congressionally notifying on the Turkey possibility of sailing. So as we talk to each individual nation, we look internally to see, do we have the capacity to build at this rate, to continue to go forward? And as those demand comes in, we have the flexibility to be able to adjust the demand rate to meet that. And so we have looked forward one country at a time, making sure that we meet their specific needs. But with Turkey, we're now in that phase where our teams are getting to the final stages of the FMS process, and we're looking forward to hopefully concluding that very soon, and then talking about how we deliver that capability into Turkey. And we'll continue to do that as long as there's a strong demand for the F-16, which we see certainly in this next decade continuing around the globe.